Hello and welcome back to the Delmarva Sports Insiders Coaches Conference, our third annual Coaches Conference. And we now move back to the First State and the Henlopen South. Indian River kicks things off for us, having won 4 games in 2015 and just 2 this past season, finishing at 2-8. They'll have some holes to fill, having lost all conference backs George Martin and Gerald Foreman. Indian River will begin their season on the road against Caravel Academy as part of the Blue Gold Kickoff Classic. Not a great year for our next team, Lake Forest. They put together a 2-8 campaign in 2016, with 2 of those wins coming at the end of the season against Indian River, who we just mentioned, and Seaford. Bit of a disappointing year for Lake Forest, who finished with 8 wins just 2 seasons ago. And now to Delmar, who lost several starters from 2016. Delmar started the year strong, going 6-2, but a pair of losses against Milford and Woodbridge at the end of the season prevented the Wildcats from making the postseason. They open up next Friday, September 8th against Smithsburg High School. And for more, let's send it back to Trey at the desk.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm being joined, as I said, as I promised, by a true Delaware legend, Delmar head coach Dave Hearn. Thank you so much for being here, Coach Hearn, gracing us with your presence one more time here. Coach, what year is this for you?
27, 37 overall.
27, 37 overall. Do you ever get tired of it, man?
No, sir.
Tell me honestly.
No, sir. Not when you got guys like in this room and 2 of them over there in particular, but just a group like this, coaches and players.
One thing I love about Delmar, and I was always jealous of being from Salisbury, is the small town feel. I feel like when the whole town closes down, when Delmar football is at home, what does that feel like? I've never experienced it. What does it feel like in that atmosphere?
Special for players, band, cheerleaders, the whole deal. But when you come out in the field and you can feel them on top of you, because we are close.
Yes.
And those who've been in there, there's no room. If you say much very loud, they can hear you and feel you. So it's a special environment there.
Would you call that environment an advantage?
Yes. I'd like to think it is. I've heard other coaches tell me and other players tell me later how they felt with someone in the end zone as they were huddled up in the end zone. You can hear the people right behind you, and you know it should be a little bit of an advantage for us.
All right, Coach. 8 years now since your team won the South, which in 2009 you guys also won the D2 title. Do you ever feel any pressure, kind of to get back to that level?
We would like to feel that pressure because that means something good's happening. So there's nothing wrong with that. We preach that to our players, you know, that expectation, as I've heard the other coaches say, to be successful and to win and to try to achieve something great each year.
There's always an aura around Delmar football. I don't know if it's the small town feel I was talking about, the classic uniforms. In your opinion, what is the best thing about putting on that blue and that orange every Friday night?
Well, everything you just said, the atmosphere of the town, everyone gets to know the team pretty well. It is a small town community, but it's the same in the school, and you get respect from those people. The players also treat everyone with respect. We try to preach the family atmosphere I've heard others talk about tonight. And we go together, and everywhere we travel together, we travel pretty well too. It's not just that home field. So it is special to wear the uniform, and we preach that constantly.
Coach, I was doing some research for these questions tonight. You guys didn't lose a terribly big amount of seniors, so what can I expect from Delmar this season?
Well, we were young last year, but we're still young with a lot of experienced young people moving along. Our seniors, we have a couple of good ones, and it's not a big senior class, but you got, as your preview said, you got a couple of teams sitting at the top somebody's got to get rid of first. One of them's over there in Woodbridge, and in Milford, they're loaded with athletes, good programs, top-notch coaching. So we've got to compete with them. If we've got to improve ourselves from last year.
Coach, even if you don't want to say it, I'm going to say it. I think Delmar takes some big strides this year in getting back into that race where they belong, in the middle of that Henlopen South. All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining me. Coach Dave Hearn. We got one more set of previews to go. Joining us, the only state champions in attendance at the Coaches Conference this year. They got the hardware to prove it, and we're going to show that as well. Woodbridge, stand up. Your time is next. Keep it here to Delmarva Sports Insider.
This is David Hearn. I'm the head coach at Delmarva High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.